What's up, yo? Welcome to Cast the Craze podcast. Audio mix, man. Audio mix. We haven't used that in a long time. What's up, yo? What's up, George? What's on the segment for Catch the Craze tonight? I don't know because George is not here. George is going out there. He's fighting with the courts, trying to convince them that the Wonderduck is real. Anyway, tonight we have the team behind Bigfoot Knows Karate. We're going to be talking to them. So let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Cast the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with nobody. Anyway, so like I said, unfortunately, George is in the courts right now trying to convince them that the Wonderduck is real. And so he's not here tonight. So I told him, I said, look, George, it's a comic book. He thinks it's real, and so that his neighbors are like, yo, they hear him quacking all night, to this stink song. And so then somebody decided to call the courts. Now he's in court and he's reenacting Wonderduck. He's like, quack, quack. I'm like, I don't know. I knew something was wrong when I heard their soundtrack. And, I wanted to just get high. So when I heard quack quack, do 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 do, but anyway, now Georgia, they had a power outage, and so he can't make it tonight. But you can see the shirt behind me, the Wonderduck shirt. If you haven't signed up yet for Wonderduck, you need to sign up now. He launches May 4th, a day after his birthday. So if you're down with George Medina or the Craze, you need to be signing up. And what a great way to celebrate his birthday, which is on the 3rd, the day before the launch, than to pledge, right? And pledge to Wonderduck. There's a lot of great stuff in it. I had a piece in it. Another fantastic artist, Hector Rodriguez, had a piece in it. There's some really cool featured artists in this project. He's been working on this, since I've known him. And it's fire. He hires a talented group from the Philippines that did the illustrations. So you want to check that out. It is fire. If you don't believe me, go to getyourmeds.com, getyourmeds with a Z.com, and check it out. And also the link is in the summary. So all you have to do is hit the link and head over to the landing page. At the last time we checked, there was about 67 people who signed up. That's pretty fantastic. Oh, see Michael landing in the house.
Yay!
And what's up, Anita in the house?
Yay!
Yeah, George is see, I'm a brokepreneur, right? George be giving out stuff like candy. True story. I went to a parade in the city. It was the I got a hair in my mouth. Puerto Rican Day Parade. Oh, sorry. And so we went to the parade, and then they were giving out passes to a club. We go to this club, it's me and my buddies. I'm at the bar, whatever, ordering drinks. This guy comes up to my friend and he's like, yo, I got something, whatever. So they go to the bathroom. So now I go follow because, you don't let your friends go with a stranger to the bathroom. You don't know what's going to happen. So I follow, and the guy's giving him a hit and he's taking it for free. Right. And I'm like, what are you doing? Right. So I wasn't, the worst I've ever did was drink. So I went back to the bar. I was like, yo, I'm leaving you. You can stay with this. You guys are going to get jacked up by the cops, whatever. I'm not even getting down with this. So now my friend wants another hit. So now the guy's like, well, now you got to pay. Right? So George is giving out this stuff like candy, but you need to pledge. so make sure everybody goes and pledge. I don't know if George knew that guy, but anyway, true story. That's how the guys in the neighborhood, they get you, right? They offer you that lollipop for free, and then after, when you come back for the second lollipop, it's no longer free. But yeah, no, George is doing his thing. He has some really good stuff. If you sign up and you let him know that you signed up, and you give him your email address, he sends you a digital print. And if you pledged as well, then you get the actual physical print. So that's pretty dope. But now he's also giving his select comrades out there in the market the Wonderduck promo shirts, which is pretty dope. I got mine behind there, and I didn't want to wear it just yet. I'm going to wear it on the launch. I'm going to wait till George launches the campaign, and the day of the launch, I'll wear it and I'll support it. But from now till then, you'll see it in my backdrop, Wonderduck. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's pretty fire. With that said, update on there's an alien in my toilet. All of the proofs have been ordered. So actually, everything's been ordered, but I'm waiting for the proofs first. So I should have the proofs this week. I get Kickstarter will probably drop the money in on the 23rd to my account. But because I already know it's closed and they collected the funds, I already made the orders and everything's already being produced. So by the time I get paid, I'm hoping to have the books in my hands so I can get it to everybody faster than you expected. Right? So I said late April. Right? We are in March. Man. So if I get it by, let's say, in the next 10 days, that's the 25th. That means by the 27th, 28th, the latest will be out. So you'll get it the first week in April. See that? Changing the narrative when it comes to the indies, right? We're not always late, right? So especially here at the House of Craze, we always want to be on time every time, no matter what. And so I'm excited about that. Everything's done. I've been working on the next generation trading cards for Volume 2, which will be out on the Kickstarter campaign in June. So the next Kickstarter campaign will launch in June. Actually, I believe, what date did I actually set it for? Hold on 1 second. Let's look at it right now. Actually, yeah, it was supposed to be June 1st. It's actually Tuesday the 31st. So I believe Tuesday the 31st, I'll be launching the second issue for There's an Alien in My Toilet. So I want to do 4 this year. So the first 4 issues of There's an Alien in My Toilet this year. So if I could do June and then August and then November, it'll be good. So the good thing is that all the books are done. So it's not like you'll have to wait for anything. The only thing that's being done, recreated, will be the trading cards. And the first volume guidebook is already done. That's coming in this campaign. So if you didn't get it in this campaign, you'll still be able to get it in the second campaign. Every 4 issues, there'll be a new volume of the guidebook with new characters. So this one has, I think, 24 characters in this guidebook. And so every 4th issue, there'll be another volume. But every campaign, there'll be a new volume of trading cards. So I'm working on the next generation now. But fun fact. So I've been having a problem because I've been, ever since Photoshop decided to go to subscription base, I was like, I'm out. You lost me as a client. And ever since every time Apple upgrades iOS, it defuncts everything before it. So once I was not able to use my Photoshop with the next generation Apple iOS, I said, you know what, I'm going to go with something cheap. And I went and I got Affinity Photo. And I could never get perfect seamless lines in my illustrations. They were always jagged and rigid. And it was annoying the hell out of me until, George and I were talking about Clip Studio Paint or Clip Paint Studio. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to go and get it. So I went and got it today. and I started illustrating, and the lines are so seamless and perfect and smooth. I was like, what the hell was I waiting for? What's you're an artist, Sam. What the hell were you waiting for? It's because I was cheap. I was being cheap. And so I got it today. I got the X version, the 129 for the way you own the license. And I started going over some of my old art where the coloring was beautiful, but the line work I didn't like. So I just went over the original line work and to make it smoother. So fun fact, Clip Studio Paint is the bomb. If you're not using it, you need to use it. This knucklehead, I don't know what I waited for. It was just forget about it. So yes. So let's see. Wonderduck on the 5th. Oh, tomorrow. Join us 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we celebrate episode 400. Yes, it is awesome, isn't it? Yes. So we are celebrating episode 400 tomorrow.
Yay!
That is just crazy. So we have some fun facts to share with you guys. We got some trips down memory lane. We're excited about that. This year, I think we added since January 63 new subscribers to the channel. That is fantastic. So thank you everybody who subscribed. Today we just got a new subscriber. So thank you to that new subscriber today. And yeah, so the road to 1,000 is real. We're celebrating episode 400. We added 620 videos since September 14th, 2019. 620 videos on our YouTube channel were added since September 14th, 2019. 3.5 years ago. Crazy. That's a lot of content. So yeah, let's get to that 1,000, shall we? So I see that both our guests have just arrived. So before we bring them into the studio, we're going to give you a little bump of our girls from Ragin'.
Hi everyone, Daphne Lage here. Join Nita Lanning and me on the Ragin' 2 The Vlogs show, where we talk about everything, nothing, and all the bits in between. Looking for hour-long conversations about indie comics, social media marketing, and crowdfunding, with the occasional rant and story time? Head on over to the Ragin' 2 channel on YouTube, Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern to join in the chat.
Hit the button.
Hit the button. All right. So now we are bringing in the dynamic duo, the Kung Fu Grip Kicking All-Stars. Here we go. Dan and Casey. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Craze.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, Sam? How you doing?
Good. Unfortunately, George can't be here because there was a storm and a tree knocked down the power line. So his entire neighborhood is out of power. So he is not here tonight. What's up, Michael Sammartino in the house? So gentlemen, last time we spoke to you guys had a crowdfunding. You're very successful. You guys, I was on your show. Thank you for having me on your show. On my man, good to see you. There you go. So what happens is, but first, tell everybody who you are first.
You want to start, Case?
Yeah, I'm Casey Allen. I am co-writer with Dan of Bigfoot Knows Karate, and in addition to Bigfoot Knows Karate, I've also written the 2 issues of Voodoo Child, which is a comic I did with a man named Pete Woods out of Mariel, England. I also helped to run the Comic Jam, which is a fun workshop we do for people that are learning the ins and outs of sequential storytelling. And in addition to that, I also help out with the Spoiler Country podcast. So wear a lot of hats, do a bunch of random shit. But I'm here today because Bigfoot is live, motherfuckers. Let's do this.
Live. All right. That's fantastic. So Dan, who are you?
My name is Dan Price. I am the creator, co-writer, and artist on Bigfoot Knows Karate. And I have also worked on other creator-owned projects, The Latex Avenger. He has a sidekick named Spermicidal Foam Lad, and together they repel crime 99.9% of the time, which that character is going to be crossing over with Drew Edwards' Halloween Man later on here in 2022. So it's nice to have the old Rubberhead back. And then I've also worked on Masters of the Obvious. It was a sci-fi space parody. It had characters like Dr. Biclops. He has two eyes. The Visible Woman, you can't miss her. LeBron the Snapping Turtle. Don't make him snap. You wouldn't like him when he snaps. I did that. I've also worked. I worked on a creator-owned for the Stan Lee Foundation called Excelsius: The Uphill Adventures of a Boy Named Stanley. That was an interesting time. I got Stan Lee was alive at the time and was tweeting out our comic every week. So that was a neat time in my life. But Bigfoot Knows Karate, that's where it's at right now, man. It's this is the book of all books and that I've ever worked on, and I couldn't be prouder of it and prouder of working with Casey, and just stoked to be here. Thank you so much, man.
So last time, you had a successful campaign, over $7,000, 212 backers. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
what's happened since the ending of that campaign?
Working on book 2. I mean, I was listening to you talking about how quick you're getting your stuff out for your upcoming, the campaign you just finished. And we fulfilled on time. I was thrilled about that. That made me happy. That was, we had a problem with printing, but they were quick to reconcile the situation, and couldn't be happier with my printer. Comics Wellspring, you're amazing. Thank you.
Yes,
so
they
much.
are fantastic.
Yes,
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I switched over from a printing company that send me the stuff damaged, send me the stuff dark, hard to communicate with.
Right.
Comics Wellspring was so damn attentive. Customer service is huge. It's fantastic. Just the communication, and then the packaging, the way they package,
so incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful. I was like, oh, you know what? That's it. I'm stuck with you. I'm a loyalist, so that's it.
Oh yeah. No, I told Pam she's got a customer in me for a long time, because they know how to. I mean, I can say anyway. You know what I'm talking about. They're amazing. The quality of my books. I mean, like the covers are like thick.
Yeah.
And the pages are just beautiful. I couldn't lighting. There was one page was dark, and they fixed it for me. Did perfect. It's amazing. So
yeah, it's fantastic, because they'll call out things, which I found interesting, because I didn't get any of that, and I got my books dark.
Right.
Because I made a mistake. I just did a digital proof rather than a physical proof.
Right.
And so I won't do that again.
Right.
But with these guys, they called out a few things that I've overlooked. They're like, hey, did you notice this? Did you notice this? I was like, oh, and this is before they sent me the physical proof.
Right.
This was in just them format.
That's fantastic.
Yes. I'm like, oh my God, I love you.
Yeah.
No,
they did a great job.
Yeah. So go on. So what's happened since?
Oh yeah, no. So we fulfilled. We did all of that. Then and then we've just been working on book 2. I mean, I'm actually about to start penciling in about 2 weeks. At the end of this month, I'm going to start penciling on the book. I'm penciling. I do all of it at the same time. I'm not, you know what I mean. But yeah. And I mean, we've got a cool ass script going on here. It was what the nicest part was getting to actually get to talk now about the book, because people have had the time to read it, and we've had so many questions, and people have said y'all did I've heard this a few times, y'all did a really good job explaining the comic without ever explaining the comic. Right. And now we've been able to tonight we get a chance to really talk about it, you know what I mean? And with I hope. And so it's been awesome. But book 2's coming along great. We've got, I don't know if you read the book on what's in the box. So we get to go crazy into this world now where Bigfoot is he's screwed, and just the best way to put it. And I'm excited for all the characters that we're getting to explore, including new cryptids like Chupacabra with the shotgun.
Wow.
And Thermonucleodon, the kaiju, I mean, so we got some neat shit we're working on. And
yeah.
Yeah.
It's we're hoping to bring to the table like characters that are just as memorable as our good old pal Kung Fu Thulu, and just really hammer down on the ties between our book and Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which
Back
by
on this
now
list
I'm
again.
sure you were able to see those connections.
Nice. So, how far out are you plotted or scripted in the series?
We are, yeah.
Go ahead, Case.
Well, I mean, we're probably about 90% done with the scripts. We just got to get time to get it
Drawn.
Dan to do his
Magic.
thing, and then we're good to go. We have most of the entire series, like the beats down for the entire thing, and now it's just getting them out and finding the time to do the work.
Yeah,
So
we
are
Right. So that's the question that I'm gonna speak as the audience. So you decided to release the first one. Any reason why you didn't go with the other approach, where get a few of them ready, prepped, done first, and then launch your campaign so you can have them already in the pipeline?
Yeah, well, honestly, because this was more than anything to test the waters to see if it would work.
Right.
I mean, I never used Kickstarter before. I mean, me personally, I'd taken a 7-year, had a 7-year absence from indie comics. So world's changed, especially during a pandemic.
Yeah.
I used to just go slog it out at comic conventions because who had distribution. Kickstarter is an amazing tool when you're able, if you're able to work your social and you're able to work Kickstarter, and get one to move with the other, then I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic distribution model. So here's what we're doing, because we're not working with a bunch of stories in the can ready to go. So I'm working on issue 2. We're working on issue 2. I'm going to start penciling on that in 2 weeks. With that being said, once issue 2's done, while issue 2's being done, we're also working on the side books that are going to happen between. Okay, so there's if with issue 1, we go deeper into the character than you would ever think based on the title alone. Right. There's a lot of story that we're going to get to unfold. And Bigfoot, how long has Bigfoot lived in the first place? We get to explore his life before we ever meet him in the first issue. Right. So it's really cool because we get to explore different moments within his life between. So every, after 2, then we're going to have a side book, then 3, then a side book, then 4, then a side book, and then leading to the climax in 5. Right. Okay. So we're going to explore different portions of his life and situations, because we met a character in the first book named Grisha. We're going to get to explore the dynamic between them and what Bigfoot really is. So we had 5 issues in the regular story that will be done by me on art, but then the side books it's going to be me and Casey writing those, and then we're going to have other artists working on those books. So they'll be coming out, to cut the amount of time that issues are coming out on the main arc. We'll be able to do those and give people a little bit more.
That was my next question, because when I was like, wait, so you're illustrating this book, you're going to take on the side book, are you drawing it? So you just you answer that question, because that's logistically it's a challenge.
Yes.
Especially with time is not, it takes time to put together a book.
Absolutely.
So walk us through the whole idea of wanting to create the side story simultaneously, concurrent with the story. Why go that route rather than finishing the arc, then tell the side stories? It's a new way of doing storytelling.
Yeah. So part of that was I hit upon a cool idea that it had to do with the characters from the first arc. However, it wasn't something that you would have to read to get the full story. to get like the impact of the entire arc. And also, like, we can only work so fast. We know that art is, man, that you know, art's a freaking job, dude.
Yes.
And if you're working like an actual job on top of that, that is, you know, demanding of your time, we wanted to find a way to keep the story fresh for people, keep people into it, keep it on their mind, and give them something worth reading. That way, you know, y'all don't go off and, I don't know, read some other fucking book about Bigfoot. But we wanted to keep it current and keep you guys in the world of Bigfoot, which we're having a freaking blast doing.
Right.
So is that does that
No. It makes sense.
Yeah,
I think
that accurate?
because you don't it's not often you hear a creator wanting to tell multiple stories simultaneously. It's usually they finish an arc, they tell another arc, they go into, you know, they come to like for instance, you know, I have a series of characters that it'll spin off into different stories after this series is done.
Sure.
So I thought it was a refreshing take on an approach to telling your world building story.
So,
yeah.
Did you ever read Civil War when it came out as the miniseries back on the day in Marvel?
I would say I own it. I don't remember it.
Okay, fair. So they had two things going at the same time, as along with a million, you know, one shots in different books, you know, but crossovers in different books. But they had Civil War, and then they had Civil War Frontline. Okay, which was like, it was telling the story of Civil War from the media's perspective.
Right.
Now we're not doing that, but what we're doing is peeling back the layers of this Bigfoot character. And because there's a lot of really great questions that came out of the first issue, and we want to be able to show you more of that without, you know, being able to flesh that out a hell of a lot more than we could in the regular story. And that's what in the regular arc.
Right.
I think when you get to know the history of the character and all the impact that he's had throughout his life, it will make, when we get to the 5th book of the regular arc, it'll make that much more impactful to you.
Right.
Okay. That's my hope for sure. I'm sure Casey feels the same way, but Case, what do you think?
I mean, there's a particular scene where he crosses the Delaware in a boat with a crew of yeah, man, like we're gonna have were you there? Do you know?
I didn't know he wasn't there.
It's the PBR talking, folks. So anyway,
there you
Number 23.
Nice.
I just got off work not long ago, so I'm trying to catch up.
Nice. So before we go into actually the actual story, let's talk about, because there's a lot of aspiring creators that are new to Kickstarter. You guys launched on Kickstarter. You were very successful in your first outing. What was your approach to it leading up to the campaign, and how did you capitalize on the momentum to build and become as successful as you were with that first go ahead?
Dan, I got this. Our approach was Dan did 99.9% of the work and busted his ass. Like, let me tell you, there is a lot to be said about finding a community. And I didn't know that Instagram there was like an actual Instagram comic community there. It was just a place where I put stuff for the Comic Jam occasionally. Right. We have a Comic Jam feed, and that was about it. And that's where I met Dan. And so I will let the real answer go now, but I just really wanted to.
That's awesome. Now I was expecting some sort of Yaya sisterhood, tie into, to what you're going to say. Nice. I work in advertising. I work in marketing. I'm a creative director for a marketing group. So my approach to the campaign was very much the way I would handle a client at work. it's social media, and we want to build. I wanted to build what we were going to get people excited, and some things worked out well along the way. That would happen virally, for the best way to putting it. Like, it became people were really cool and started drawing all these Bigfoot Knows Karate fan arts. And I mean, we had like 50 or 60 of them or something like that when we went to Kickstarter already.
Yes.
And it was just people, I couldn't believe that was like something that kind of went out of my hands. But having like the kind of the goals and the milestones to get through the campaign. I love graphic design. I love, writing content and doing things like that. I'm not a PR guy. I know how to write a press release to a degree, but we brought in a publicist to help us out. Jeff Haas, who, he helped to book us with you guys in the first go around. Jeff is amazing, and when you can't do everything, and you cannot do everything, you just can't. Bring in an expert to handle the stuff you can't do. So that was a big thing for me. Instagram, huge. The Instagram community, I love you guys, because I mean, they really they took in Bigfoot Knows Karate with just this big old hug, and like, everybody has been so kind on the platform,
right.
And really got behind it. And I think doing live draws and live streams and stuff like that, that was a big help, getting people aware of the character and stuff like that. And then, finally, the biggest thing to the success of the campaign was just hype for the launch. Right. That was the biggest thing. And then when we launched it, we did a live launch on Instagram, and we saturated the market, getting that information out there over Twitter, over Facebook, our Facebook group, over podcasts that we were on. Anything and everywhere we could get that information out was huge. So our live launch, we had, when at the end of an Instagram live, you can see how many people were in the room. Right. We had 209 people watch our live launch. Wow. Okay. And that was insane. And we raised $1,000 in 7 minutes. We raised $3,000 in 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So it was really, I mean, it's the IG community. It's the few folks who follow us on Twitter. Thank you so much for that. I mean, I don't know, Casey may has more followers than I do. I'm not really a Twitter guy, but just thank you to everybody who really got behind the book. The reviews of it have been really good. We've been stoked with that. And, I'm glad it's met people's expectations as far as I can tell. So, because there was a lot of hype behind the book. There was, really trying to get the word out there. And, don't think I didn't have an anxiety attack or two between, oh my God, all these people are drawing it and all these people are excited about it. And we're trickling out artwork here and there. And then it was like a hard stop, because then we couldn't show anything because of spoilers. And it was like,
that's why Casey just talks so much of random shit.
Yeah, so it was crazy. So, but we got there, and I mean, so as Casey said to me a while back, he said, "I want us to double it in the next campaign what we raised." And I said, "If we do, I will get a Bigfoot Knows Karate tattoo live on Instagram, and I will do that." So that I'm throwing the gauntlet down to everybody now.
Wow, that's
Sure. One thing I do before we move on. If you guys are interested in having a publicist like Jeff, who did a great job, Vector_comics on Twitter and Instagram. He is on top of it. He also has a podcast called Beyond the Stars.
Traversing the Stars.
Sorry. Yeah. And super good guy. And he busted his ass to make sure that we got the gospel of Bigfoot out to everybody. And also, like, Dan has the Instagram community, like really great people there. The people from the Comic Jam that I met, a lot of people came out of the woodwork to help support this book. Another guy named Christian De Matteo from Fugitive Poems Comics, he pushed our book. He didn't have to. He would post almost every other day about Bigfoot Knows Karate, and just stuff like that makes me go like, oh, community is important. being a lone wolf creator or whatever is, I've never really been part of anything big before. And then, meeting up with people who are just trying to get their story out and wanting to do a good job and not be assholes is it's important. So you guys, Vector Comics, and find people that you gel with. So
Jeff was the one who actually booked the podcast for me. I was like, look, Jeff, I said, I got myself on 10. Can you double this for me? And so we talked behind the scenes, and then he went out. He actually did more than that. I ended up on 30 podcasts. The guy was amazing.
We'll wear your ass out.
Can't do that again.
No.
But yeah, it was. He's a great communicator, fast, easy to deal with. I was talking to George about it because I wound up getting Jeff a couple of clients. I was like, you know what? When I have a great experience, the world's gonna know.
So I think Jeff has probably got. I don't know. Now that I'm hearing what you're saying, and I know that I've been singing the gospel of Jeff Haas, to a lot of creators, and a couple of them are already taking him up on it. And now they're, other buddies of ours are like, I'm going to get with him. So I'm excited that this is kicking off for him, really well, because Jeff's outstanding.
When you find something that's right, like with Comics Wellspring.
Yeah.
Right. When you find something that they just understand what they do. Johnny Sidefix in the house. You want to make sure that number one, you are loyal to these people, right? And two, you can do everything you can to help them grow their business. So you weren't the first one. I think it was what's his name? Michael Crit, the creator of Crit.
Oh, Chris Michael. Yeah.
Chris Michaels, yes. He's the one who told me about Jeff. And that's how I was like, you know what? So I contacted him. I said, look, I can't do this. I'm trying to do the podcast, enjoy the comics, and do the Kickstarter. Can you do this for me? And we worked it out. And it was easy from that point on.
Yeah, Chris found him from us. So Chris and I are tight. So I'm a big Crit fan. So I'm looking forward to this new issue too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the big furry guy, right? So what makes him tick?
Well, I wake up generally around 4 o'clock in the morning. Gotta be at work very early. You're talking about the comic. Okay.
Right.
Yes. What's his motivations? What makes him tick? What's the driving force behind him?
If you were a he's a gentle cryptid warrior. I've said this a bunch in the podcast. I know it by heart. Gentle cryptid warrior that lives in a world where anyone can be a hunter and anyone can be a prey. But if you were alone in the universe, or not in the world, but in the world by yourself, and nobody even knew you existed, what would that do to your psyche? What would that do to your soul? What would that do to your motivations? And but this particular Bigfoot not only has that problem to deal with, but he's also a cunning warrior at the same time. And he is living in this crazy situation where his role as a hunter and a prey is just moving and shaking. So a lot of philosophy going on in a book about a Bigfoot. I never really thought that would take place, but that's where we're at. And we kind of always likened it to Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill, in the pitch. And for this first issue, I think that kind of sums it up on a high level. But
right.
Man, as we learn more about, through the story, there's some sinister shit going on.
Nice. So walk us through the first issue. What made you start off the series the way you did? Because it was a great pace. You paced it well. So what made you start off with that story? You could have gone in a lot of different directions. You went this specific one. Walk us through that.
Can I say something first?
Yeah,
okay,
go.
So,
it's you, man. It's you.
So the first 8 pages were basically proof of concept. Initially, I was on just to help edit.
Right.
I'd been telling Dan, like, dude, you got to do this book. You have to do this book. And finally, he was like, hey, if you will you help will you help me out with this? I was like, I'll edit. And I said, show me what you have. What's your story? And he sent me those first 8 pages, and I was blown away because up until then I'd only really seen the character sketches that he had done, and it was compelling. And I actually looked at it the other day. You haven't really deviated much from your initial character sketch. He's a little rounder now.
Is he?
Yeah, on his head, it looked like he had a square head initially,
Right. Sure.
but I think the design changes were good, and
I'm looking at the comic now. Really?
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
it works, and especially for the style as a whole. So
Right.
but yeah, it was proof of concept. He showed me how it looked in sequential form, and it worked. I was blown away at just how well he could do a really beautiful idyllic scene in the wilderness, and then just straight up just like violence, just violent outburst, and still keep the surroundings kind of there. Like you never left the woods. It's just become a darker place. So it's when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, I'm totally on board.
Right. There's a specific look to it, and a palette, a coloring style that I believe really truly gives it its unique, iconic branding look. What was the thought process behind that?
Okay, so I wanted it. Okay, so I had an art professor in college. I was doing an independent study in illustration, and the professor, his name was James Searles. He's a illustrator. He's an artist and sculptor, hung in the Guggenheim. I mean, this guy is world renowned. And he was working with me, and I was showing him my sketches for another illustration class I was in. And he was like, and he saw the gesture drawings, those loose gesture drawings. And then the next couple of days when I came back to the class, he saw the tighter pencils, and he was like, what the hell? And he starts screaming at me, he goes, keep it loose. Your stuff is best when it's loose. And, the more you try and make the lines perfect, the more frozen the characters seem. And he really, drove that home to me. And when I was something that I kind of fell on deaf ears at times in my life, but I really took that into heart when I was working on this. So loose, I wanted everything to feel like it was moving and fluid, and that, that there was a kinetic activity happening, even in his fur.
Right.
The brushy, grungy, if you could take a Tom Waits song and make it an illustration about a Bigfoot, this is where we're going, just that was the kind of, almost, but organic is another great word I would describe for it too, because like there's no hard lines for, the panel borders.
Right.
It's all very, it's all very brushy. Like if you hit the gallery button there in the website, you can see some of the pages, and it's like, you can, it just kind of really wanted that movement and that rawness to come through. Look, I give a lot of credit to artists and illustrators who can do realism. I'm not your guy, but I can bring you something different to the table. And I've never really drawn quite in this style. I did something for Halloween Man by Drew Edwards a while back that was kind of touched on this,
Right.
but really took it to a different level here.
Right. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and forth between the both of you. But
Sure.
Casey, so now you get those 8 pages, and you realize, all right, you want to build on that. So sometimes coming out from the outside, coming in, it takes you might come from a different perspective. How did your approach mesh with Dan's vision for the character?
So the first issue, he had like a good portion of the beats down. He knew where he wanted it to go. And I would just come in and help fill the gaps and go like, do we need this? Can we do this? And I would do some wackadoo, something or other. And he would, I think some of the weirder things in the book, like I helped it, if not like straight up like put in there, I at least kind of like spurred it on. And when it came to like the big fight at the end, occasionally I would be like, I would pull back. I'm like, how violent do we need this to be?
Right.
And I messaged him and I said, is this too much? Is this too gory? And he said, more gore.
More gore.
Like, yeah, I got a green light. So like, of course we're going to go like balls to the wall, dude.
Yeah.
To make one small interjection, Casey, Kung Fu Thulu ate the Bigfoot and he stabbed his way out of the Cthulhu's eyeball. I mean, that's gold, damn it. That's gold. So we just, like just the tentacle with the blood just shooting out like a geyser was like, it was like a scene out of a Monty Python, with the, So go ahead, Casey. With great gore, by the way. Bringing the gore.
I had so much fun, and the scene. Okay, I was really worried it would get too much like slapstick or whatever,
right?
And it would all be in how it's handled, especially because you see the reaction when Kung Fu Thulu, our resident asshole in this book, eats our dude. Just straight up eats him. And then the swords come out and he's up a creek. Like the reaction to him going, oh shit, something is very wrong. I should not have done that. And I wish I could erase 8 seconds of my life right now. Right. So when that happened and when Dan sent me the art, I was like, holy shit, he nailed this. I wasn't ever worried that he wouldn't. Just the degree to which he dropped his dick on the table and broke that table in half. Yeah. And so for that, I was very happy.
Did I drop my dick on the table?
Glad
I'm sorry. I just, geez, man.
Metaphorically.
Oh, metaphorically. Okay.
Like if we're at a Denny's or something and you did that, I might be upset. Like that is my
you don't want that fucking ruining your moons over my hammy, dude. So Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
Said eggs over easy, not this craziness.
Yeah. Right.
So what are the things that you guys mentioned earlier that you're throwing in a lot of iconic, mystical or characters? What can people expect from the second issue? Because this one was packed with some stuff, and so what can they expect from the follow-up?
More cryptids.
Do you remember when the American Idol show first got off? And Kelly Clarkson won. Right. But there was this guy named Justin. Yeah. And he came really close, like really close. And they wanted to keep that momentum up. And the bigwigs at American Idol decided, fucking let's put a movie with those two people who have never acted in their life. Right. Let's make a movie with both of them in it, from Justin to Kelly. And they did it. Book 2 has nothing to do with that, but I just wanted y'all to remember that because that was a terrible idea. What were they thinking?
Just say no, kids. Just say no.
Oh my god!
This is what you want to say with that commercial. This is drugs.
Yeah. Drugs. Oh man. I mean, seriously, dude, some of the shit you've watched in your lifetime there, Casey, that you bring up, it's like amazing to me. Can't you quote The Godfather or something cool like that, dude?
You've
No,
never
no,
seen The
no.
Godfather.
You've never seen The Godfather, but you're sitting
Never
there
seen The
probably watching.
Godfather.
You've probably watched every what's that guy? The Freddie Prinze Jr. movie that came out, but you've never seen The Godfather.
Of course.
Wow. That's great. Anyway, with that being said.
That's fantastic. So basically, on average, how long does it take you to illustrate an entire comic? Because you're doing the coloring and the
He does everything.
I do everything.
So,
I mean, like art wise, yeah, I letter the book. I do the graphic design behind it. I do all.
so now,
you know.
because you do everything, do you start a page and finish a page from pencils to inks to colors and letters? And then
Well,
you do-
to colors, I go back in and letter later because
Okay.
once this, so this script that we did in issue 1 was kind of fluid because we were, working as a co-writers. It's a different situation in terms of how to, and how we write. I write in blue, he writes in red. If we like it, we write, we put that into black and we keep moving forward.
Right.
So we were kind of working on the actual script. Like we had the story, but we were working on dialogue and stuff like that into the late, into the late run. And I like lettering my own stuff just because you can edit in bubble and, make it, tighten it up. We knew where we were going by that point. We had the script all done, but yeah, he is missing a great movie, Jonathan. I'm with you on that one.
Everybody tells me, and it's like I don't have the time or the. I have 2 kids, and they're buttholes. They're very demanding, and it's so hard to get time to watch like a 3-hour movie. So I'll watch Justin to Kelly. Justin to Kelly is 90 minutes.
Midnight every night. I watch 1 hour of something. I never get to. It takes me a long time to finish if it's a series.
Yeah,
because I work from 7 a.m. to midnight. I'm in this studio working, and so it's usually at midnight when I go to bed because I can't just go to bed. I put on an hour of TV and then I'm out.
Right.
What do you do for your back, man?
My back is fine. I work out in the morning, so I get up early. I work out. So I make sure that I work out, especially my legs and my shoulders, because that's why you get the pains from the shoulders up in your neck. It's either from editing or on a draft table or whatever it is. So as long as you constantly strengthening those areas and those joints and stretching, you'll be fine.
I laser weld under a microscope for 8 hours a day, and like just kind of I've gotten it to where I have to adjust my seat so that my back is straight back, because I'm scared I'm gonna get like a hump on my neck or something.
Yeah,
because otherwise I'm just like this.
Now you make me all feel around in my neck to make sure I'm all not Quasimodo'd out. Jeez.
It's the neck. It's the neck and the shoulders where you start feeling the pain. And when you're on a draft table, your arms up, your shoulder starts tensing up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I see some of the old engineers where I work, and they're just like their neck is like at an angle like that.
Yeah. That's why deadlifts and shoulder presses, just to get keep it going, so that way it doesn't fail too early. So I forgot where we left off.
We were talking about like pencil inking and all that stuff like that, doing all the letters and that sort of thing. So
yeah. So on average, how long would it take you to complete this next one?
Man, this is, shit. At this stage in the game, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be at least 6 months to get the book together. At least 6 months, because we're going to go a little longer than we did in the last issue. Probably we did 30 pages in the last one, and which was a bit of an undertaking. This one is going to be a lot more detailed in terms of the scenes too, because we're in completely different environments now. So, and cryptids just everywhere, so it's going to be creatures that you've heard of, creatures that you haven't, all showing up. I think I mentioned that we got new character. Did I mention the chupacabra and all that stuff already? I think I did. Yeah. There's like shit like that and other things that I'm not even going to mention right now, but and we're taking weird spins on stuff too, which is always interesting and giving giving new life to cryptids you've never really encountered before. I mean, not that we're all like walking into cryptids every day at the grocery store, but you know what I mean. So it, and you know, and the questions will build up. You know, I mean, there was one cat who said something about the book, and you know, they said that, you know, it was a bit confusing, and you know, we're kind of trying to write something not as confusing as Lost, but we're not spoon feeding you the story either. You know, we're not just giving it away. I'm like, you know, it's not Saved by the Bell. It's, you know, it's very much there's a certain amount of work that you're going to have to do to understand the story, because
promise it's going to pay off. It
will pay off, but yeah, it's going to be worth, you know, but we're going to be asking questions while we're answering others. So it's, so yeah, I mean, get in, you know, for a ride, because we're going to take you a few different directions along the way. I mean, frankly, compared to something like Latex Avenger, this is far more interesting and far more intriguing of a story. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, look, we gave him a name in the book, you know, and you know, and we called him Benny, and, you know, and there's this mysterious character in there that shows up after the gigantic fight between Kung Fu Thulu and Bigfoot. There's this character that shows up named Grisha, that we only hear his name one time, but like, is obviously there's heat between him and Benny Bigfoot. They've had history, and we want to explore that history, and we want to explore who the hell is this dude, and what is this control that he has over this Bigfoot that we're following through. It's gonna be cool, but like, just get ready, because I mean, what we saw in the first issue is only a microcosm of the bigger picture. I mean, if you notice in the first book, it starts off this just a Bigfoot and a rabbit. Right. And by the time it's done, the military are flying a gigantic Cthulhu head away into the sunset. So, yeah, there's a lot going on.
One thing I want to say is, it was immensely gratifying to hear people respond with, "Holy crap, you took that in a way that I was not expecting." Because, you know, on the outset, it sounds and looks like a punch 'em up. But as soon as they realize there's something a little bit deeper going on in the background, that's when people go, "Oh crap. Like, what is this? This is crazy." And it was fun seeing those lights go off. Dan mentioned there's going to be a lot of different cryptids in the book, and in issue 2 rather. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Nightbreed. Like, this is not me going off on a tangent, just full of shit. There's a Clive Barker film. There's a Clive Barker film called Nightbreed, and for my money, I prefer it to the Hellraiser movies, which are like, I don't know, like it's so like edgelordy. I've never gotten it. You know, maybe some people have other opinions about it. That's just mine. It's weird. However, Nightbreed, on the other hand, is like the secret group of beings that no one has ever seen before. And in the back of my head, I'm like, that's kind of what we're dealing with. I love that film. It's so weird, and I don't think a lot of people give it the attention that it deserves. But you know, I digress. You know,
yeah, I get it. So I find it. I see what you do. Well, your method. It's almost as if you try to find relevance between genres. It's something that I do with. It's the reason why I think of music all the time. So when someone says a word, I think of a song. You know, like I guess when you're writing, you pull inspiration from things that you watch throughout your life or whatever, because you seem to pull a lot of movies out of the hat.
That's just me. Like, if I ever get like, I don't know, the man gets me for something and I'm interrogated, I'm solid. They're gonna hate the shit out of me. Like, he just talked for 4 hours about the Doogie Howser, MD. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Why is he not locked up somewhere? Why is he not in Crazy House right now?
You're like verbal Kent from The Usual Suspects, just sitting in the interrogation room, just spouting
Came out like
bullshit
snot.
off a bulletin board. I mean, so
now,
fantastic.
you being in marketing and understand that relevance is key, right? So
Right.
how do you keep the momentum going during that time period where you're in the lab?
So I'll go back to the playbook of live draws. I'll start scheduling more and more of those over the course of the time, because one thing that I'm really I heard you were talking, you got into Clip Studio recently,
right?
And ditched Photoshop. Cool. I'm an Adobe Illustrator guy. So those lines that you're talking about, getting those clean lines and that sort of a thing, that's more achievable in Illustrator, but you're drawing in vector, right?
Right.
But one of the things about working in vector and using layers and all that stuff like that, which they have in Clip Studio as well, is being able to isolate images and being able to use Nightbreed is awesome. There you go, man. Being able to just take extractions of panels out. Or parts panels, and being able to live draw those and then place them back in where they need to go in the story.
Right.
So it's like you got to give the people what they want to a degree, because you want people to be interested in what you're doing on social media and keep the hype up about it, or keep the intrigue up, or whatever you want to call it, keep people interested and excited. So I'll be doing that again. And plus, I mean, whatever, I like posting on social media. I like people to see what's going on, because that's how we did it in the first book. I mean, just get people excited about the character, and the character is going to change and morph as the book goes on, because as we've said, kind of from the get-go, damage counts. Bigfoot took some damage in that first issue. And so where Kung Fu Thulu just scraped his face, and he had these big old, rips in his face. Well, those scars heal, but they don't go away. And I think
it's going to carry over.
Yeah. I mean, there's a scene where his whole gi gets ripped. So he's not like he's going to show back up like Superman. Hey, look, I got my stuff on again. No, he's got to figure that out too. I mean, and we're going to learn more about the character. And like I said, I mean, he's a Bigfoot. He's lived a minute, so he's had a lot of time to learn. And I mean, fuck, he does karate, damn it. You know what I mean? There's something to that's, that we can really dive into. And where did he get it? Who taught it to him? Why did they teach it to him? Why does that matter? In the bigger scheme of things. Right. He's Benny. He's our guy. So I'm excited to see where he goes. I'm excited to show you where he's going, because I mean, even Casey, I said to you, we got 5 issues planned, right? That was the original idea. Casey says to me, hey, how about we put a little epilogue at the end of book 5, just so we can open it up to 6. And I'm like, I'm not drawing it at that point, dude. I'm tapping out. I will co-write away and we'll have fun. I'll do a one-shot occasionally, but I've got a noir thing I want to work on. I got this whole slice of life thing I want to work on. You know what I mean? So there's some other things I want to be able to draw, but I love Bigfoot Knows Karate. That's for damn sure. This is fun right now. So
let's play the what ifs.
Yeah.
Right? Because things can change over time. What if, somebody from Netflix or Amazon says, hey, we'd love to do this as a series.
Let's go.
But we want you to continue with it as an ongoing series, as a comic book. Will you still maintain the illustration, or were you?
Yeah, well, fuck yeah, because what choice do I have at that point? But I mean, look, I work working a full-time job, being able to do this. It's I love what I do, and I would never really want to leave what I do because I enjoy it that much.
Right.
But you only get you got to chase your dreams too. And it's never been that I want to write for Marvel or draw for Marvel. It's never been that for me. I'm an Image kid. I was 16 when Image popped in 92. Right. And the whole idea was that you can create your own stuff, that you can control your own fate in the world of comics. Hell yeah, that's always been exciting to me. So, the original Image 7, or Mignola, Frank Miller, all those Arthur Adams, all those guys over at Legend for Dark Horse, even the people like Norm Brereton and all those guys who did that stuff for Malibu, Howard Chaykin and stuff like that. They all decided, screw it, we're gonna go try our own thing for a while. Dude, that's amazing.
Right.
So if you get to be able to take, like, pull a McFarlane and make an empire, do it. I mean, I think, or Mignola is a really great example of it, as well. Wouldn't you?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
How about you, Casey?
So yeah. If Netflix comes, calling, and I have any say in the matter, of course, I will write the next few issues on my yacht. And it's
That's hilarious.
getting the story out is key.
Right.
And we get the story out and we win. That's the whole thing for me. I never thought that comics would be an option for me, because it's New York and LA,
Right.
and everybody that lives in between is, just flyover states. I never thought that it would be an option for somebody, 30 minutes outside of Birmingham, Alabama, to be able to write a book and have people want to read it. And now, because of internet and, nerd culture kind of going a little mainstream in a way, like, I'm able to meet up with people like Dan, and like Dan's one of my best friends now. Like, we talk nearly every freaking day, and I love the guy. He's super good.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
it's being able to do this was not, it was an unexpected, like, surprise in the best way, because like I said, I always wanted to write. I used to play music. Music was my thing, and then I had 2 kids, and like, they heard me play a little bit the other day for the first time. They're like, "You know how to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had to stop because your buttholes." And you like, because if I would start playing, they would, they're young, it's too loud. So now I have an outlet, and if you're a creative person, just getting an outlet is tantamount to, just leading a happy life. Being able to, whether it's for you to only see ever, or for, other people to get into, like, just creating something, that's important, dude. And I will always be grateful of being able to do that, and be encouraged to do that. So sorry to get a little serious here, but yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's like, it makes me happy.
Right. So Casting Craze, that one of the things we're known for is basically being able to provide information to our listeners on some of the things that we've learned over the years, and things to avoid, and that nature. So you guys basically are the prototype for a collaborative that's doing something successfully. So what advice would you give to aspiring creators on working with others and breaking into independent comics?
Case, you want to go first?
Okay.
I'll go first if you want, but go ahead.
One thing that has been, like, very helpful to me is just finding a group that you like, because you're not going to get better feedback from a group of people. Like, putting yourself out there is hard, and you as an artist, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you, because, like, you have something tangible that people can see. Like I'm literally tapping into my phone on the toilet 99% of the time. So yeah, you guys think about that next time you're reading my book.
Oh my god. They just got sound affected, dude.
So no, like putting yourself out there is hard.
Right.
Getting feedback and support and like positive reinforcement is such a good thing. And I found that with a group called the Comic Jam. They started off from Reddit comic collabs, and now I kind of help run the day-to-day operation of it. And it's where I met Dan. It's where I met Pete. I met a lot of people who have been a part of my story as a creator. And it's immensely helpful to find your tribe. And also just being able to take to know how to accept advice and accept criticism, that is also important. So yeah.
Dan?
I'm sorry, there was a barking dog in my house for a moment. Can I get a repeat on the question, because I was completely thrown off by that?
What advice would you give to aspiring indie creators on how to work with others
Okay,
and
got
how
it.
to break into independent comics?
Okay, so look, I've been lucky to work with Casey. I mean, he's the dream partner for this project that we're working on right now. We had experience working with each other at the Comic Jam, with on an amazing piece, and it just became my pal along the way. I was also lucky enough to work with another cat named Bonadami, who I worked with for several years, and he was the artist. I was the writer in that situation, and so I've been lucky enough to collaborate with two really amazing creators from for long-term projects. You know what I mean? Because we'll be working on Bigfoot for a while. I hope for a good long while. I have a lot of faith in this project. I have a lot of faith in the character, and I have a lot of faith that in Casey. I think he's amazing. But like Bond here, I got a piece. This is Bond's work on Latex Avenger. Bond was an incredible artist, absolutely incredible artist, and when I mentioned the fan art before, I mean, again, so grateful because I mean, it is pretty incredible. We've been able to pick up other creators that we're going to be working with, other artists and stuff. So this was Adam Caswell's deluxe edition cover that we did for the book. Adam's coming on and working on one of the prequel books with us, so we get the honor of working with him, and we've had other creators other artists who have been very excited to collaborate with us. So we've got some folks that we're hopefully going to be able to do some things with on these side stories and prequel books, whatever you want to call them, and really get to work with more creators. And it is finding people that are like-minded enough that you're going to get along, and good enough at what they do that they realize that, and they're willing to fight for what they want, and make the project better,
Right.
because I work in teams, on my day job, marketing groups, graphic teams, whatever you want to call it, just a lot of different people, and there's a lot of different fingers in the pie. The bigger the production, the more people got a say in what's going on. Trying to find people who can understand that, who want the best for the project. That's the name of the game. And finding your tribe, like Casey said before. I mean, Instagram community has been top notch. You mentioned Christopher Michael earlier. I know you've had Jason Farrow on here before as well. Those are two guys that I hang with on IG, and and the Jerry Coolies and D Hausners and Valencias and all those, Dennis Valencia and all those cats. I mean, those are And the list goes on and on. Mike at Dork Art Studios got a Kickstarter coming up here real soon. Y'all got to check that one out. You know, I mean, I love all these guys. You know, I mean, I never met one of them. You know, I've never met Casey, for crying out loud, and I've known Casey how long? 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah, going on.
Casey?
I think about 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, so everybody is just, you know, I mean, Caswell, Matthew Skiller, and all these dudes, they're all incredible people. So, in fact, I'm doing a table at Baltimore Comic-Con in October, trying to get Casey to come up with me. And, but there's a bunch of those cats a bunch of those cats are all going to be up there at Baltimore. So we'll finally get to hang out, which will be really incredible. So, yeah, I mean, find your people, you know, find and handle critique. If people critique you on something, don't be a whiny asshole about it. No, be an adult. That's the thing too. Be a professional and be an adult. Be able to want your project to be better. Go ahead, bud.
You made me think of something very important, especially for new people that are starting out. Dan is a professional, like in his day job, a designer. He knows how to do designing. He knows how to do layouts. When you are doing a comic, you, as somebody who has had to review comics for other publications, make sure they're legible. Lettering, you think like, oh, I can write. No, you fucking can't. Like if you don't know how to do comic lettering, get somebody who knows how to do it.
Right.
And like they will enhance. Like somebody who knows how to do it will enhance the look of your book.
Make or break it.
Yeah, like art is subjective.
Fuck you up, dude.
Like storytelling, like there's going to be stories that people click with that, you know, I think are the most boring thing on the planet, but other people love. That is subjective. Right. Art, like people have art styles that some people just freaking love, and other people think, you know, it's not for them. That's being kind. It's just not for them.
Right.
If you can't make your words legible in the comic, I'm not going to read it. And I do not think that any other people are going to put up with it. If it's too confusing to read, you're just going to put this down and go like, I guess I whiffed it on that one. Nobody's going to come back to your book. So make sure it's legible. And if it's not, find somebody who can make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry that I don't know if I just noticed the mature audiences thing, and I hope you didn't put that up for me. And I apologize if you
absolutely
did.
Yeah, he put it up after you dropped your first F-bomb. Did you know? Once it went up, I said, "Oh, fuck it, I'm talking now." But anyway,
yeah, Dan caught it.
I caught it immediately. He said, "Fuck it." It went, there it was. Put it right over your screen too.
I don't play. Yes. And if you want to know a lot about lettering, go to blambot.com.
Oh, yeah.
They have all the best information for you to walk you through how to, you know, because I do the What's in the Box and I get all kinds of books, and sometimes I'm like, I can't even read it. But I force myself to. Yeah, it's a great point. So
real quick on Blambot, real quick. If you're new to this, a lot of free fonts, a lot of pay fonts. Pay for some fonts, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice of them to give the free fonts, but buy a few fonts, you know, especially because there's just some great fonts that you can get your hands on there that are just out of this world. What?
You can get font packs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some great stuff. I mean, I use Blambot almost exclusively. So big fan.
Absolutely.
These are not paid endorsements.
So now I want you guys tell the world why we're going to start from Casey to Dan. Why should everybody go pick, if they haven't picked up Bigfoot Knows Karate, why should they get it and where can they get it? Dan?
Okay, so just like in terms of story, if you want something that is it's a page turner. Okay. And I know I'm saying that as somebody who, you know, had a big deal to do with helping to put the book out. it's a freaking page turner, dude. It's super fun to write, and from the people I know that have read it, they've enjoyed reading it. It's it's unique in that I haven't seen anything else like it out there, which was really what drew me to the project. That and just Dan being Dan. Dan is a persuasive dude, and like, you want to work with good people. Working with good people on a project is way better than working with a dickhead on a project. And Dan is not that. So I had a blast. So yeah, get the book, man. It's a lot of bang for your buck. And in addition to that, like, just the next campaign that we do, I know that like you can buy our book at an online comic store, and it's in a few comic shops just here and there. But I was really proud of what we were able to do in the campaign as extras for people. And I know that when I got in my comic, I opened up the box. I was like, holy shit, this is great. Because Dan kind of had a lot of that stuff over in Texas, like one around me. So, all right, to you, Dan.
Oh, sure. I'll talk. Okay, so you can find the book at cwsbookstore.com. That's Comics Wellsprings Bookstore, cwsbookstore.com. Currently, the only one we have over there is, hold on. No, that's not it. Currently, well, I don't have it in front of me. Fuck it. The only one we have right now over there is the regular edition cover, the red cover. That's a 30-page story, and with the full story, it's full color. It's a really cool book. If we will be coming on mephistocomics.com here very soon, they're going to be launching their site very soon. And those we're going to have all the covers available, including the Caswell cover here and the Skillern cover right here. I'm going to show you all both of those because they're amazing. These covers are just incredible. I love them. This was the regular variant, and this was the deluxe variant. And in the deluxe variant, we were able to come up with some cool shit, including a fan art gallery, because we received so much fan art. We did a fan art gallery in the book.
Nice.
So, which was badass. And then the other thing that I just truly love was the deluxe edition. Let me turn it like that. The deluxe edition had the director's commentary. So you hit the QR code, and it took you to a YouTube video that gives you a complete deep dive into the book itself. It's a 2.5 hour video with myself, Casey, Dennis Valencia from Slate Comics, Kenrick from the Spoiler Country podcast, and Kat, the High Heel Gamer from The Breakdown. And we all talked about the book at length, and that was a lot of fun. So I've always liked director's commentaries back in the DVD days, and I always wanted to make something like that happen for a comic book. But dang, we did it, damn it. And with that said, we're going to take you on a ride. This book is going to be everything you thought it was going to be, and we'd like to think it was everything you thought it was going to be, and a hell of a lot more. We're not spoon feeding the story. Like I said, you're going to work for it. This is going to be, more Faulkner than Hemingway in that regard. Hey, English majors, there you are. But
we kind of pulled the rug out from under you,
we're
towards the
it's
end.
It's action adventure. It's psychological thriller. It's it's deep psyche shit, going on in this Bigfoot, and we're gonna pull back the layers. We're gonna peel back the onion, and we're gonna really show you who this character is and all the different things that that he's been. So get ready for an indie comic that is going to deliver. It may not come out as fast as we all wanted to. That's the world of indie comics. But when the book goes to Kickstarter, the book will ship when we say it's going to ship. That's my guarantee to you, because my attitude is when the book is done, then we go to Kickstarter. We're not, you know what I mean? So, everything is going to come out on time, and we're not going to let anybody down, but there's going to be a lot of great things that we're going to do along the way. between, as the book comes out. So watch on Instagram, check out the live streams, check out the live draws. We're going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. And, and talking more freely about the book as we go. So, and then when it's time to shut up, we will do that too, because we don't want to spoil everything for you guys. But it's gonna be fun. So hey,
awesome. So thank you, gentlemen, for being on Catch the Craze again. And,
yeah, man, thank you.
When you guys are ready to launch, just hit us up, and put us on your promo tour, and we'll make sure that we will help you get the word out. Great job in the last campaign. Wish you guys much success, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens with you guys down the road.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Hope you're having a good night. Hope you get your electricity back, buddy. So.
You got it, brothers. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
All right. So what the hell?
Hey, there's Casey.
Sorry.
Now, welcome back to the Casey Show. You guys are in for a treat. Let's get these assholes off the screen.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, guys.
Got it. Peace. All right, so that was the team behind Bigfoot Knows Karate. You know where to find them. Go to BigfootKnowsKarate.com. The link is in the summary. Check that out. If you didn't get the book, you need to go and pick it up now. Don't forget to sign up to the Adventures of Wonderduck. That link is also in the summary. Hit that up. Go check out. Sign up for the launch of the Adventures of Wonderduck. George has been working really hard on that book. The artwork is fantastic. The story is amazing. Here's the next generation of a duck in a series of lines of, he has made amazing predecessors from Donald Duck and Howard the Duck and Daffy Duck and all the kinds of ducks, just like Duty is for, with Alf and Marvin the Martian and all the others. So with that said, if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're listening to us on Twitch or Facebook, you're watching us there, head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Help out these boys get to 1,000. The more subscribers we have, the more eyes we will have on the independent creators that come to us and want to promote their books. With that said, I appreciate every single one of you. Join us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. George and I will be celebrating episode 400. That's huge. Episode 400. That's a milestone. Oh, that is crazy. We're excited. And don't forget, Thursday morning, the Morning Brew with the Crazy Crew. George and I will be talking about pets in comics. What's up with that? So if you, again, we'll always drop the link in the chat if you want to join us in the live stream and voice your opinion on the content that we're talking about. With that said, I'm your boy, Sam the Crazy Man, Vera. Have a great night. Peace. It's just easy. It's not. Crazy. Acquiesce. No, it's about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, he described me. He said, I'm the idiot. What?
Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Candy girl.